Just checking. Oh, wow, Sam. That's quite the look.
Oh, why, thank you, Gracie.
Now, I know that we've always said that we want to keep it relaxed when we meet up because...
We want to capture an informal, friendly chat that connects with others.
Yes, exactly that. But do you not think what you're wearing now, is perhaps a bit too relaxed?
I can assure you that I am not that relaxed wearing it. It's a bit drafty.
That'll be the holes.
Actually, can you just check the label for me? I've got a feeling that someone we know made it.
Okay, let's see. It says made by Carl Seabridge.
Ah, yes, thought so.
That will only make sense if people have listened to an older episode.
Which they can easily listen back to wherever they get their podcasts. Episode number 5, Wigs, Wisdom, and Working with a Good Heart. Check in with Carlos. There you go. Free advertising. You're welcome.
Yes, great. Can we just get back to this? The outfit in front of me?
You want me to knit one for you?
No, definitely no. I will not be wearing one of those.
Your loss.
I'll cope. I just have one question. Why are you wearing...
A vest?
Yes, a vest.
Well, I would have thought it was obvious.
Well, humour me.
It's the theme of the episode, and I think it's important we live out what we chat about.
Rest. The theme is rest.
Oh, not vest. Now that is disappointing. I really thought I had taken it to a deeper level by wearing one with holes in it.
A holy vest.
Exactly.
Do you know what, Sam? I think our focus on rest might be just what your overworked brain is in need of.
Yeah, let's chat about that.
Talking life while on the run, sweat it out, yeah, have some fun. Heartbeats pumping, minds clear, laughing loud, breaking through the fear. Check your pulse, take a beat, side by side and in the heat. One heart, one mind, walking with him, stay on track. Pulse check-in. Pulse check-in.
Hello and welcome back for another episode of Pulse Check-In. It is the first Monday of the month of May, which means it's a bank holiday.
It is.
Excellent news. Hello, Gracie, you're right.
I'm good, Sam. Yep. I'm, am I looking forward to a bank holiday Monday?
Well, it
is it actually bank holiday? Oh, it is bank holiday Monday.
It is today. It's not.
I've not
it's
even
not
no.
for us, but
It will be.
It will be.
It will be on Monday. I screwed that up. Now, I used to, on a bank holiday, it's a bit stereotypical, isn't it? That's when you do all your DIY.
Oh, yeah.
But I may have to offer my services to random people because that sounds really bad, to my neighbours, because I haven't really got anything. It's all painted, decorated and done up already.
Oh, showing off, are you? Oh.
I know. Not by me. Not by me.
Right, okay. Because I was going to ask you, what does a day off usually look like for you? And what does a bank holiday normally look like? And does it actually leave you feeling rested if you've just done DIY all day?
I tell you one thing that I find about a bank holiday, which is a joy, is there is no money going out of my bank for a bill.
Oh, yes.
It's a day of rest on my bank account. And
yes.
I do quite appreciate that.
Yes, indeed.
At that time of the month. A day off for me is quite weird because my life has changed quite significantly in terms of what I do day to day, because I think that some people who don't know my situation or don't know what I do might look on and think every day is a day off for me because I'm not in full-time work. Even my self-employed work, I don't do as much as that as I used to. Well, not at the moment, but I am working. I'm working different ways in different things. But the focus of my work at the moment is mentally. And that is about working through and processing stuff in my brain that kind of, if I don't sort that out, that prevents me from being able to function day to day. And I've gone through a lot of feelings of I need to kind of be busy all the time to justify the fact that I'm not in full-time work. And I do that quite a lot, but to the detriment of my physical mental health, which is stupid, isn't it? Because it's a waste of time. Nobody's bothered about what I'm doing day to day. It's more me.
Well, Well, nobody's
But
judging you for it, but
nobody's judging me.
I'd
Nobody's
argue that
judging
we're
me.
bothered, but just because we care about you more than
That's very kind. But I did go through. Gosh, this is a long answer to a first question, isn't it? But I don't. This is the shortest way I can say it. But I did reach a point, like when I was in therapy, where my therapist said, because I would talk about this, I'm like, oh, I'm not at work, and I'm desperately trying to get back to work. And she was saying, what you're doing now is work, because the stuff I'm processing in my brain. I mean, when I've done it, immediately after that, I'm absolutely knackered. I am emotionally like a wreck, and then it takes some time to recover and restore. She said, "You're working your brain, and you're focused on getting on recovery, and that doesn't just happen. I have to engage in treatment and therapy." So I think since she had that chat with me, I've kind of tried to rephrase it in my brain, and also I just think those who know me well. And those people whose opinion I care about, I don't have to. I don't feel judged by them. I don't feel I have to prove anything. So, bank holiday, it's just another Monday for me. So, does that answer your question, Sam? I tell you what has just come to my mind, though. A bank holiday will offer for me, because a lot of my friends are in full-time work or they've got families, they're really busy. A bank holiday Monday will often be about a reconnection with people or time with friends.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and that is, for me, as restful, even though I'm like socialising or whatever, that's as restful as, I don't know, sitting down and doing a cross stitch.
Yes.
I don't find that restful, actually.
Yeah, no.
And what about you? How's the day off look for you? And is there anything you think, I might do that a bit differently, so I do feel like I've had a day off? Or is it perfect?
My life's perfect. A good day off is just doing something with the family, with my friends. Yeah, like you said, it's time that you wouldn't normally have to do something that you wouldn't normally do that you enjoy. But equally, like you said, it might end up being decorating and doing things that you wouldn't normally have the time to do that you maybe don't really want to do.
Or you don't have the height for. That was always my challenge with DIY.
Yeah.
Be dangerous. Isn't there a fact? It may have changed now, but they used to say that the most cases in A&E during bank holidays is people doing DIY or falling off a ladder.
Yeah. I think that sounds about right. Definitely.
But then I think, I'm pretty sure, again, maybe we should Google, I'm pretty sure that got overtaken by the biggest cause of accidents was people falling out of their trousers.
What?
And then I think the trouser incidents got overtaken by accidents whilst cutting an avocado. I mean, times have changed.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely true.
What, the avocado or the trousers?
The avocado. I've never heard of somebody falling out of the trousers, but I've definitely heard of people cutting their fingers on an avocado. It's a dangerous thing to do. Yeah.
It is dangerous. I mean, it's healthy for you, an avocado, but it's dangerous not so healthy on your hands. People are losing fingers all over the place.
Maybe that could be one of the questions we pose to Dr. Jones.
Yes.
Just a reminder, segue, we have a clinic with Dr. Jones, our resident doctor, coming up. A whole episode dedicated to asking questions to Dr. Jones. So do feel free to send your questions in for Dr. Jones.
What kind of questions? What kind of question can it be? Can it be like, I've got a rash? Or what are we talking about here?
We don't want any pictures of your ailments.
No.
We just questions on well-being, questions on maybe life in the hospital.
Yeah, about maybe handling stress, because he's obviously in a stressful situation. But when I think when we chatted to him before, what amazed me was just how laid back and calm he is.
Mm.
And I want to know what superpower he has to come across like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got a new book coming out.
Oh, has he?
Of when a very stressful circumstances in his life, when he was on the respiratory ward. He was, what do you call it? Respiratory.
That's why me and you aren't doctors, because
Yeah.
we can't say the long names.
Yeah. During the COVID pandemic, and nobody knew what was going on. Memoirs
yes.
from that.
Gosh.
which is a very interesting read. So if you've got any questions about that, it's not out yet. I've not read it, but it sounds interesting.
But you know Dr. Jones well, and he's a good writer.
Yes, and he's also a good Christian. Any faith questions you got for him? How he lives out his faith in his stressful job? Anything?
Yeah.
Also, any stupid questions? He's very good at stupid questions because he's stupid.
You shouldn't say that in front of me, you know.
Oh, why? Stupid
That-
questions?
because-
Oh,
You shouldn't dangle that carrot in front of me. Sorry.
But I'm
But,
putting out a challenge. Who can ask the silliest question?
We'll have a challenge.
Yeah. If you can ask a question sillier than Gracie can ask, then you get a platinum chicken.
Yes, platinum.
But anyway, you have we posted about it. People can still donate to, you ran the Paris Marathon.
I did.
Last weekend, it was the London Marathon, which is very
Yes.
exciting. The first official runner under 2 hours.
Unbelievable, that, wasn't it?
Crazy.
And did you also see that the person who came second?
Oh, absolutely devastating.
But he came in under 2 hours.
Yeah. You run the fastest time of a marathon and you come second. What's that about?
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they say the London Marathon's a slow course. What are they talking about?
Do they?
Apparently.
Did they say it's slow?
I was listening. Well, they don't anymore.
Wow. No, they
But
can't.
they used to. Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite incredible. That he's run a marathon in the time it's taken me to have a shower, have breakfast, walk my dog around the block. He's done 26.2 miles.
Yeah. I was thinking, because one of the reasons I haven't run a marathon is because it takes too long. So why don't I just do it in under 2 hours? Then I'll be done.
That is a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, crack on,
Yep.
do it.
All right.
There's no excuses now.
Yep. After this, I'm going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder I didn't clock what his pace was. I did hear this though, which was really good. I listened to a podcast and Paula Radcliffe said about the guy who won that he was the perfect example of proving that you don't go out too fast at the start. Because that's the main advice from people when you do a marathon, is that you can get caught up in all the, the noise and the crowds and stuff like that. And you go out too fast and you think, yeah, I'm doing well, doing right. And then bang, you hit the wall and it can, the wheels can come off kind of thing. But they were saying that he ran, I mean, it's ridiculous. He ran half a marathon. Was it just over an hour? Like just over an hour.
Right.
And then he did the second part of the marathon quicker.
Yeah.
And she was saying, yeah, he did it impressively under 2 hours, but he stuck to those principles. Even he didn't go out too fast at the beginning. I was like, oh yeah, actually it's quite true, isn't it?
Do you want to share with us some of like your Paris Marathon? Talk to us about it, yeah.
Well, yes. Well, first of all, okay, it was the most enjoyable run I could have possibly asked for.
Okay.
It was an amazing experience and I really, really loved it, which is very weird.
That is weird.
It is weird. But I loved it, not just because of the run, but because everything around it. And it was, I would say, how would I describe it? Beautifully chaotic. And so people have asked me, is it better than the London Marathon?
I was going to ask you that.
But you can't compare the two because they are so different.
Okay.
It's a different experience, I would say. So for London, yeah, you've been to support it, London, haven't you? Mm-hmm. So when you're at the barriers cheering people on, particularly places like Tower Bridge and Cutty Sark, they can be like 10, 20 people deep, can't it? The crowd. Mm-hmm. It's hard. And so to cross the road, you can't just cross onto the They've
got designated
track,
crossings.
Designated stuff, yeah. Well, Paris is pedestrianised, so there's no cars, but there's hardly any barriers at any point.
Okay.
So people are like joining in, running alongside their friends and stuff, which was really special to see and witness. So that was a bit weird. So you'd be running along and then people just randomly crossing the road. I would say it was really good not knowing what was around the corner because I couldn't dread it. Whereas for London, there's a bit in the course where you have to, well, I used to have to really talk myself through it. Otherwise, it would do my head in. Whereas for Paris, I didn't know the route. So I didn't know what was going to happen ahead. And that was brilliant because it kept me nice and relaxed. The sights were amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
And the water situation. Did I explain to you the water situation?
I think we were questioning what it would be like.
Yes. So we got a lot of information only probably about a week before the marathon, where they said they weren't giving out plastic bottles or cups of water, that you had to use a refillable cup. I know it's not very good for a podcast, but I'm going to show you the cup that they suggested you had, which would fold up in your thing. Ready?
Wow.
That. Now, if I show you, I mean, I've got small hands. So this cup is a Gracie-sized cup.
Now, I've seen videos of people in races like the marathon where this is how they're filling up, and they're trying to fill up their cups and they just can't because...
No, it's impossible.
Yeah.
So you had people who had hoses or taps, but you had to run past it. You had to keep going. And the people operating the taps, they're not bothered about it. They're chatting to each other. So it's like, so I sacked that off, basically. And I had my 2 bottles with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would stop. But if you were going to do like a PB, I would imagine it would have been really frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Because you had to stop each time. Whereas I'd gone into this run, took the pressure off myself again. I just want to enjoy it. I don't want a PB. So it didn't really bother me so much. But yeah, so that was quite an experience. And then the last thing I would say, so right at the end, it goes really, really narrow. And that's where the crowd was big.
Mm-hmm.
So 60,000 people took part. That's a lot of people. Obviously, they're not all going down this road at the same time, but you can imagine how busy it is, yeah? So I'm in a city, I don't know anyone, yeah? But I took friends with me. And the last part of the run, you go through 3 tunnels. I think it was 3, maybe 4. And one of them is about a mile long, which they turned into a big rave. That was very good.
Oh, wow.
So it made the tunnel a positive experience. That was quite fun. But I went through the second tunnel about mile 17, and I could feel myself physically feeling very heavy, but also I'm thinking I'm heading towards that wall, that mental wall that they say is ahead of you. And I was just in my mind thinking, okay, I'm going to phone my friends. Didn't have a clue where they were, and just connect with them and just see if they can talk me through the wall. And as I got my phone out to ring them, they jumped out of the crowd. They were there. And I was like, oh, my life. So that was like a massive boost. They ran with me for a little bit. And then I just keep going. So that was amazing. That timing of that was perfect. But yeah, so at the very end, I was running down the really narrow bit, last 500 meters, and I knew that my friends were going to be at the finish line. So I was looking to the left and the right of me, thinking, oh, where are they? Where are they? And then I clocked in front of me the finish line. So as I looked straight ahead of me, coming towards me was a line bike. So you know what a line bike is?
Yeah,
an electric bike. He was a Deliveroo driver coming towards me. So we had to get out of the way for the Deliveroo driver. If I hadn't looked up at that point, I probably would have.
I thought you were going to say the delivery was for you.
No, if only. No, it's like, this is weird. What? So we had to get around. It was very, very different.
I was thinking,
running up the Mall?
You know, like the London Marathon, I've seen like stations with like the gels and stuff. And,
yeah.
like, really good high calorie energy snacks. At the Paris Marathon, do they just have baguettes and croissants and pain au chocolat?
Well, now I'm glad you said that, Sam, because actually, no.
Oh.
They had gels, which I didn't go near because it's like Weatherspoons when you go over there to get it. Again, you have to stop. You have to mix it yourself. They don't just give out the gels that are in a tube.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I'm not going there. Oh, gels. You just thought of gels as well. Makes my stomach turn. Anyway, but I did notice alongside the water, there were these massive white trays. The only thing I clocked in those trays was bananas, peeled bananas.
Oh.
And then there was things, but because my eyesight's bad, I couldn't work out what the other things were. So I ignored that. I thought, I knew what I had with me to eat that. But then when I got over the finish line, when you get over the finish line in London, the first thing that happens is a volunteer very enthusiastically gives you a medal and says, well done. Crossed over the finish line at Paris and you kind of just left. It's like you're wandering for a while. And I noticed to the right of me these trays, the same that they had on the water thing. So yeah, it was bananas, and then it was homemade lemon drizzle cake,
Hoo-hoo.
some homemade ginger cake, some cookies. Just so I just thought, I'll have a bit of lemon drizzle just before I've got my marathon, my medal, and I'm just stood there eating homemade lemon drizzle cake.
Wowza. They do it right
You
in
don't
Paris.
get that. You don't get that. But yes, it was funny, brilliant, great way to see Paris.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then talking about today's episode, we're talking about rest, aren't we? Do you have any insights on your rest or your preparation?
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Rest is a weird thing when you're in the days leading up to a marathon, because I started training on the 1st of January in the depth of winter. That's how long ago you start your training. I think I did 12 weeks because I missed a couple of weeks of being poorly. And you build up the pace and your endurance and stamina for quite a long time. And then you do really long mileage. But the training plan was telling me 3 weeks away from the marathon that you start to taper. So you really reduce the amount of time you're on your feet and the distance that you're doing. And it feels so weird to be doing less when in 3 weeks' time, you're going to have to run further than you've actually run during your training.
Mhm.
And almost a sense of guilt I would get, where I'd be like, oh, I need to keep running, keep running. But you have to trust the process.
Mhm.
And in that process, what's happening to your body is it's recovering from all those miles that you've done since January, from all the impact that you've put your muscles through. It's restoring and repairing so that you do have enough stamina and strength
Mhm.
to do the run on the day. So I don't know about you, Sam, but if you hear the word rest, it's kind of linked for me. There is an element of guilt if I'm resting, but it's so important to rest to enable you to receive like restoration, isn't it?
Mhm.
So that you can be stronger.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I was reading a book called The Rest is Worship by Sarah and Sam Hargreaves. And one of the things they say we do a lot in today's society, we say, oh, I'll rest when fill in the blank. I'll rest when I've finished that. I'll rest when I'm
Yeah.
less busy. I'll rest when I've got all the work done so I could properly rest. But there's always something else in the gap.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible to be able to rest amongst being really busy? Or do you think it's one or the other? You're either really, really busy and then you rest.
I think it's easier for some people than others.
Okay. Why?
I don't know why. Just from experience, I think I find it easier to rest when I'm busy because I don't know, it's just part of who I am that I like to forget about the busyness because I'm just forgetful. I don't know. But that being said, when there's things that I'm busy and I'm stressed about it, it's different. Like people who know me will go, you're not yourself at the moment, what's going on? But then there are times when I'm busy and maybe it's because I know there'll be time to do those things in the future and they're not time constraints. It's easier to turn off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And one of the questions I had was, how do you feel about pausing whilst goals are still unachieved? Which I guess, like I say, depends on the goal.
Yeah.
And I guess for some people who get more anxious about things, worry more about things because of mental health issues or not even issues, because of the way their brain's wired or the way that society tells them their brain should be wired or pressures of modern life. Don't know.
And do you think that maybe that's when you were saying about, I think it's different for different people because not everyone's the same. Not everyone experiences rest in the same way. But I think it's crucial that although we might not do rest in the same way, that everyone has the opportunity to rest or makes a decision to rest.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think I read something about rest not being like an indulgent thing, but a real necessary thing. And actually, if we're thinking about faith and who we are as people, rest is not a reward. It's God's design in us, isn't it? Because the way God created and designed the world, right in the middle of that, he rested. We're made in his image and we're part of that design. Rest needs to be a part of who we are, doesn't it?
We were designed with God's intention was to rest with us. He put humans in the Garden of Eden to both be in paradise, rest with God, but also to tend and to work with God. Gave us authority, but also gave us a chance to rest in the work.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's check in.
So, how do I put this, Sam, without sounding like a negative Nelly? When I was younger than I am before, not young, because I'm still young, younger, I was part of a mission team. It was actually called the Mission. And we, as a part of where we were based, we were part of planting a church, and it was all very full on and exciting, and we'd do random stuff. But kind of like I don't know if it's the same now, but back then, I was kind of surrounded by people who were really busy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say even after that, like church life, I don't know, it's just like really busy.
Yeah.
And
It's almost a badge of honour, isn't it?
A badge of honour. I've actually written badge of honour in my
there
notes,
you
so
go.
yes. So yeah, it's like impressing people, going, oh, well, I've got this today, I've got that, now I'm doing that, and I've got to be there for them. And not just in church, just in life generally, about busy people. Like, it doesn't really impress me. In fact, it worries me more when people are like saying how much they've got on. I'm not talking clothes. I'm talking like,
Vests.
yeah, vests. Like, I'm just going to say it out loud. Busy Christians get on my nerves a bit.
Okay.
I've said it.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it. Sorry.
No, you're all right.
Because I just don't know what difference it makes.
Yep.
And I don't know what they're trying to prove.
Yeah, I've written down an easy trap to fall into is thinking that we're in charge and make things happen. I've actually
Yes.
written the idolatry of thinking we're in charge and make things happen.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. You think if I don't do that, then...
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a fine line, really. There's a serving others, thinking if I don't do that, it doesn't get done. But there's a thinking that if I'm not there, if I don't make myself busy and do all the things, then things just aren't going to happen. Whereas if God wanted things to happen, if it was important to God, it would happen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense. I think we should always kind of remain open to like saying to God, okay, what do you want me to do? What should I do next? And being open and being willing and ready to serve others. I absolutely get that. But I think there's a difference between serving others and serving God to cramming out your day or week or time with... It's not even that, actually. It's not even the act of doing loads of things. I think the thing that gets on my nerves is when people shout about how busy they are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because, I think that's what it is.
I can't do that.
I think
I'm
that's
so
what
busy.
it is.
So I've just got so much on right there.
It's like, okay, if you're busy, that's fine, but just don't keep telling me you're busy. Yeah, I think that's... And particularly in the church, there's that whole, when it becomes busy and showy, it feels a bit less... I don't know. I'm going down the road of judging other people, and I don't mean to do that. But I don't know why it annoys me so much. But
the impression.
I've been there.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I've done it myself. That's and I had to reach a point where it's like, hang on, why am I? God doesn't want us to be so busy that we burn out.
Yeah, it's the impression that in order to be a good servant, you have to be busy. You can't rest.
And almost, so I noticed, like when I was kind of in that culture of being a busy Christian, that things like rest would be seen as, well, by me anyway, laziness.
Mm-hmm.
As, okay, we've only got a short time on this earth to do everything we got to do. I'll rest when I'm dead kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
is it the devil doesn't take a day off?
Yeah. It's all those kind of... Yeah. Well, it's not true. You need the rest. You need the rest to restore.
Yeah.
You need the rest for...
Yeah. And I guess you say the devil doesn't take a day off. Well, God took a day off.
Yes,
Why don't we act like that instead? Why are you acting like the devil?
I know. Yeah. And why is there so much guilt? I used to feel really guilty if I had a day off. Well, where's that come from? What a waste of time thinking and worrying about what other people are thinking if I have a day of rest.
And I think we also think about, we admit we are fallen and broken and get things wrong. which I guess is why we make ourselves too busy and we forget to rest. But the fall came, again, this is from the book, The Rest is Worship. It's a great book for this podcast. The fall came in Genesis 3. But in Genesis 1 and 2, God creates everything and says, this is good. I'm very pleased with this, and rests. So before we were broken as humans, we were good. God calls us good before all that. He still calls us good. He's still pleased with us. And I guess what the question is, how easily do you find it to believe that God made you and called you good? And how often do we reflect on that and rest in that we're made exactly who we need to be?
That's a huge question. That is huge, because I think what I have experienced is that to understand, or in an attempt to believe that I am good, I've gone down the striving route and doing route and trying to achieve, and amongst that comes the busyness and the trying to fix things myself, or trying to manipulate situations. Not manipulate, I don't know if that's the right word, but trying to live a life that's good. But within that, that's become really, really stressful or unattainable, actually, because that's when you burn out. And then I guess in the resting, I mean, perfect rest is when you're not striving, isn't it? You're actually just being and receiving. That's my brain just speaking out loud. Yeah. So that's a long answer to the question in terms of, you asked me, do I believe that I'm good? Yeah. And so then, even though I know that I'm created by God, he loves me, he wants me to be in a relationship with him, I know that, but still this human side of me feels I have to earn it and strive for it. And that's when the busyness comes in, and that's when that's striving.
Yep.
And it's hard to rest when you're in striving mode.
And in reality, it's the other way, in terms of you're good despite the things that you do.
Yeah.
Or the more you work doesn't necessarily mean that the more God thinks of you.
Yeah.
He already thinks the world of you before you do the work, and then you do the work in gratitude.
Yeah.
Which I guess in your head it can make it seem like I need to do more work because I'm more thankful. But equally, God's didn't design it that way. So doing more work is counterintuitive, and then the work you do would be better if you rested, like with the marathon stuff. You need that recovery, and you need that to grow that strength and that rest, and listen to that voice. I'm saying a lot of words here.
No, that's right. I mean, the other thing that I learned in the days leading up to the marathon, which kind of has been a bit of a game changer, is that sleep has been a real issue for me for many years. I don't get many hours sleep, or if I do, I have nightmares. It's not been a very peaceful experience for me, sleep. But I do know that sleep, whether you're running a marathon or not, everyone needs sleep to keep well, to keep functioning. I wrote it down actually about what happens when you sleep. So basically, sleep, it files, it's like it does the office work while you're asleep. So all those things in the day, all that information you've received, it puts it in the right part of the brain. You get your brain physically restores. And so it's always healthy. And there's a lot out there about sleep. And it's almost become, where I haven't been able to sleep, it's been like such a challenge, mental challenge as well. Again, trying to strive after good sleep. It's felt out of reach for me. And then leading up to the marathon, I was just aware that I'd had a number of sleeps on the bounce where it had been really short and not enough for me to feel well on the start line of running 26.2 miles. And then I started to get in a bit of a panic about it. But then I looked at like my routine. I looked at the fact that how much I was on my phone, how much information I was still allowing to go into my brain late at night. But even though I was, tired, I was still opening the door for more information to go in, all that kind of stuff. And then my friend who came to Paris with me, she just said, rather than focusing on sleep, focus on rest. So if I'm feeling tired, and I start to feel tired on the sofa about 10:30, 11:15. But because I've told myself in my head, right, you're not going to sleep because you never sleep. It's not going to happen. Physically go to bed, even if I'm lying there awake, I'm resting my body. I'm not watching telly. My phone is in a different room, so I'm not tempted to do a bit of doom scrolling, stuff like that. And just rest. Just, you ain't got to be anywhere, you ain't got to do anything. And almost not have the conversation about sleep. It's about rest, not sleep.
Yeah.
And I did that so that we were there 2 nights before the marathon. And when I woke up, when I got up the first morning, again, my friend rephrased the question. So she would normally ask, did you sleep? But she decided not to ask that. She said, did you rest? And I was like, I did. And it was just that simple rephrasing of it. Psychologically, I went to the start line feeling rested.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It just put rest. I know sleep is essential, but I think rest is up there as well.
Yeah, definitely.
In terms of, yeah.
We sometimes say to my daughter, who struggles with midday sleep at the moment, she's getting to the age where she's getting past it. She says, no, I don't want to go for a sleep. I just have a rest. I think they introduced that in nursery because she just wouldn't go to sleep. We'll have a rest. Give us a break.
Give you a break.
Have a lie down.
And actually, there is a benefit for other people when you rest, isn't it? Because, like you say, give us a break. So it's not just about you. It's like...
But you touched on one of my other questions that I had was, do you think we've confused rest with just scrolling? Is scrolling resting? Again, like doom scrolling?
I personally don't. I find if I've done alone, I can feel myself almost start to feel unwell if I scroll too long. And the algorithms are rubbish, aren't they? You just start seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
Same theme.
Yeah, and I think it switches off your thinking brain, maybe. But the way things are designed these days, it pumps you full of dopamine. Dopamine?
Oh, yes. Yeah, dopamine.
Which makes you think it's something that's worth it and makes you think coming back, but it just keeps your brain awake and you get stuck and it's addictive. And
yeah, like
you say, after you've done it for a while, you're like, this can't be good.
Yeah.
But yet we still do it.
I think you touched on there about it being addicted. There's a lot, isn't there, in the news at the moment about the way social media platforms are built and managed. We're all addicts. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us are addicts because that's the way they've created it to be addictive. And I think that we can I can justify it by going, I'm just going to do a bit of research.
Yeah, just want to check. Just want to see what's going on in the world.
Yeah. I'm not moving about. It's good. It's fine. I'm still, but no, you rest and good sleep.
But,
it's not just a physical thing.
Which I don't think I'm saying that we
thing.
should boycott it all, because it is good in the way it keeps us connected. But maybe it's just being aware of where we're getting stuck. It's not actually being healthy.
I also think I probably kind of narrowed it down too much, but in terms of what I learned about rest. But I think that's because it was in the context of preparing to be physically strong enough to do a challenge. But I also think, this might sound a bit contradictory, but rest, you can be resting whilst being active. I think it depends what that activity is.
Okay.
But I think and also it can be a choice. It could be an active choice to rest, where it's not just rest isn't just when you've done so much, you're so knackered, you have no choice but to just sit down. I think there can be a conscious, active choice to be restful. And also in that, I think that's where there is, like we talked about Bank Holiday Monday, I find it restful if I'm socialising with good friends. And I'm talking about friends who know you, who you don't have to, I don't know about you, Sam, but there are certain contexts or settings where I kind of mask things. It's appropriate to mask things because it's not appropriate to tell everyone everything all the time. But again, that's all that it's you have to put on an act.
You don't have to pretend.
Yeah. So and when you're with people that really know you, again, it's that not striving to be liked or to be known or to be acknowledged for your gifts and stuff like that. It's just about being with people who know who you are and accept you. But again, that's an action, isn't it? In terms of when you're socialising with people. It would be a bit antisocial if you're like, yeah, on the Bank Holiday Monday, let's get together and then it's going to be really restful. And then you just sat down and had to sleep. That'd be slightly unsocial. But I gain a lot of almost fuel and energy just by being with other people who know me well.
Yeah, definitely. Being with others, help others and fueling others and then fueling you, resting in community.
Yeah. The other way I find rest is if I have a really good laugh.
Yeah, definitely. Just having fun with people. That's just doing something silly. We love doing something silly.
Silliness. Yeah. Sam, I think silliness needs to be, I don't know, a law.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Shouldn't it? It should be like, do at least one silly thing a day. So my challenge to you, Sam, today, do something silly and let me know what it is. And I'll do something silly.
Yes. And I want to put that out to our listeners as well. I was going to say, if you had any thoughts on today's episode on rest, to contact us, plexus@salvationarmy.org.uk, and tell us what silly things you're doing. I'm challenging you as well, Gracie.
Yeah, I know.
Next episode, we're going to say the silly things that we've been doing. Gracie, if rest had a soundtrack, what song would it be for you?
Gosh, that's a different question, Sam.
Sorry.
You've thrown me off.
Yeah. I didn't warn you.
Right, okay. So is this like a serious track, you'd say?
We're just saying rest is silliness as well, so...
Rest is silliness, okay. Actually, I tell you, it's not one track, it's an album.
Okay, love that, love an album.
But the reason I like this guy is he's a really good storyteller through his music.
Okay.
That's what I like about him. And I like, when I listen to his music, I like the fact that there's that connection, that human connection with his stuff. And it does help me. Particularly his first album, I found quite therapeutic the first time I listened to it. You're a musician, so you probably do this. But I think we're in an era, aren't we, that an album is not always listened start to finish.
No, yeah. It's even the way albums come out these days, you have to release a single, then release another single from the album, and then release another one, and build up anticipation, and then release the album. Yeah. And
I that works for a lot, but there are some albums, I think, that are worth listening to.
I think as a musician, artists create the album and tell a story through the album, whether it's obvious or not, or whether that's what gets the sales. I think artists do it because they care about their craft, obviously.
Yeah, and wasn't it Adele who first did that on Spotify, where her last album, you could only listen to it in order.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she did something. It was something like that.
You never told us what the album was you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So it's Noah Khan. So his new album.
I recently, I listened to two of the tracks. Yes, yesterday actually, I was talking to somebody about worship music and saying I was bored of worship music. Not bored of worship music, bored of the genre that it seems to have become. Looking on my new releases on Spotify to try and find something to listen to, and this album came up as something that caught my ears. Yeah. My
nephew introduced me to him. Like, he saw him live before he was big.
Right.
And he links to his first album. He said, because it's really unusual, he finds, for an album to, as a bloke, that he connects to, like, on his stories.
Okay.
And he's found that in him. And when he started to, get a bit bigger, Charlie was like, oh, I like the fact that other people are getting to know him, but I'm also a bit like, oh, other people know now.
Yeah. I went into Spotify, put the word rest in, but it took me back to an album that I used to listen to by Michael Kiwanuka. He has a song called Rest, which is it's like smooth. I want to say Bill Withers vibes. Would you say that?
Oh.
I don't know. It's just very easy listening, very restful, very mindful. The music, it doesn't go in a way that you would expect like a pop song to go. Does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
Which
I think is what we're maybe losing. But it's not overly, I'm going to do the opposite of everything that you would expect. It's just nice and chill.
I've got 2 questions that's going to throw maybe this episode a bit off track. But when you were talking there, this popped up into my head. Do you ever experience rest when you are in worship? Or do you think that's possible?
Yes, I think for me, musically, worship is spending time with God. And I think a lot of emphasis and talks is put on worship is giving God the glory and God the praise. But I think in worship, God also fills us up and resting with God. And I'm going to plug Abide Worship, the YouTube channel that I do a lot of worship in, which abide means to be at home with God and to be with him. And as we were talking about in today's episode, God calls us to rest as well as to do. And we are made to glorify God, but also be with God and rest with God. And in worship, we allow him to restore us. And I think I felt that.
That's exactly the answer I
Boom.
wanted.
Yes.
You articulated it brilliantly.
So check out Abide Worship on YouTube. Link will be in the description wherever you get your podcasts. And also, I'll post it on the social media pages at Pulse Check-In, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube as well.
I've got so my other random question.
Go on.
You talked about you were listening to music because you're a bit tired of worship. How did you phrase it?
Bored of the genre that popular worship music has become.
Yeah. That's really interesting because I kind of update playlists quite a lot. So I swap things out, put things in. And in terms of worship, yes, I'm like,
Hey, I'm not saying it's bad and that people shouldn't like it. I'm just saying...
No, I'm not saying it's bad.
At the moment, I think...
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just like, not quite connecting.
Yeah, I think like you said before about connecting with stories from people's songs and the stories that people tell through songs. And I guess I've got one exception of not connecting with worship music at the moment and where it's going. The song called Homecoming, which is Corey Asbury and Gable Price. But the verses are like a confession, and I guess they could be perceived as being selfish, talking about ourselves all the time. But I think that maybe what I'm looking for in music that I listen to is looking for those personal stories of confessing before God, worshipping him, and just being open, I guess, just being with. It's not all when you're with your friends, you don't always just put praise on them. You talk about things that are going on in your lives, don't you? Which is good.
Yeah, excellent.
Do you have a guilty pleasure track?
Oh, Sam, you've probably heard this. But for us, for me and you, for our friendship, this song, I think it's a song that you should listen to.
Okay.
I think it will really connect with your heart. Do you remember, Sam, if we go to places and we'd see somewhere that looked like something, what would we say? If we saw a certain view.
It's a bit like Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yeah. I don't know where that came from, but we're offering places where we look out and go, see that? Looks a bit like Lord of the Rings. So, like I said, I like to change my playlists around. And then I do this thing to try and keep it interesting. I don't listen to the track. I just put it on my playlist. So I go down a really random playlist. And then this one, it's a long song, right? So you've got to commit 7 minutes, 32 seconds. Right? So you've got to commit to sitting down, resting, with your headphones on, no interruptions.
I don't know what it is.
It's called Disco Lord of the Rings.
No.
And in brackets, it's got just one funk to rule them all.
Okay.
Close bracket. I mean, it is AI, but you could tell it is AI.
Right.
But when I was running yesterday, it came on, and oh my life, people must have been thinking, "What? Why is she smiling?"
Oh dear.
It is absolutely bonkers, but brilliantly bonkers. Disco Lord of the Rings.
I'll do that. I can't believe you're making me do this, man.
I really should be embarrassed about having that on my playlist, but that's staying on there for a bit, I think.
Right, okay.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
And a reminder, we will be back next month on the first Monday of the month, which is the 1st of June. For our next episode. So make sure to subscribe, set us to download automatically so you don't miss us. We can't wait to see you there and catch up. Remember, email us plexus@salvationarmy.org.uk with your thoughts and questions for Dr. Jones. Oh, I ran out of breath there. See ya. Take a beat. Take a rest. Bye.
Pulse check-in. Talking life while on the run. Sweat it out, yeah, have some fun. Heartbeats pumping, minds clear. Laughing loud, breaking through the fear. Check your pulse, take a beat. Side by side and in the heat. One heart, one mind, walking with him. Stay on track, pulse check in.